up, guys? Tambo here with your Week 4 core report. Our cores have been on fire this season, and our guy Hoop nailed the Week 4 strategy, stacking up the Lions and Seahawks game. Hoop went cheap at quarterback, rostering Geno Smith with the double stack of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. He then went full onslaught for the game by adding Jamal Williams, TJ Hawkinson, and Josh Reynolds from the Detroit side. Hoop topped off his lineup with several one-offs, including Austin Eckler, Josh Jacobs, and the Eagles D, racking up a score of 252 DraftKings points with a unique lineup that actually took out a 33-man dupe train, shipping the Hoopster $1 million in the Week 4 Millie Maker. Several of the players from Hoop's lineup appeared in his core plays and cash player pool provided to our premium members, who also had some pretty big weeks. MC won over 3K on DraftKings, Raholman hit for over 5K, Nika hit for over 6K, and Chase Addy NC shipped for over $45,000 on FanDuel. And Hoop isn't the only expert to hit big recently. JT Hayes hit for $20,000 in MLB last week. Big T hit once again, profiting over $33,000 on the NFL Week 4 afternoon slate. And our guy Locks had a huge night, shipping for over $213,000 on the Sunday night Showdown slate. You can watch all of our experts for free by visiting our YouTube channel and subscribing right now. For our premium content, where you can access all of our core plays, playbook, Discord, premium videos, and more, visit runpuresports.com and sign up for a membership today. At RPS, every sport is included for one low price. Sign up for our premium membership today, and let's keep running pure.
It's the final countdown. What is up? It's Holden. It's DC. It's Title. We're going to break down these 4 games today. It's kind of like March Madness. You know, instead of having 16 games a day, though, we got 4, and it'll just be all day long. It's kind of like opening day, too. This is magnificent. I love it. We had some good football last night. We got some great baseball on tap today. We got Toe Tapper Tambo in the chat. It's wonderful to see the Toe Tapper today. And let's not even screw around. I want to get into this. DC, hello. Good to see you this morning. We got a 4-game slate. We got a ton of aces on the mound. What's just some overall thoughts on today's slate?
Yeah, really, really fun day of baseball. 4 games, essentially back to back, I guess. 4 games in a row. Yeah. So constant baseball, if you're a baseball fan, which you probably are if you're watching this show, makes for a fun day. Starting at, what are we starting at? 1 Eastern time today. So 2 hours from now, we'll get kicked off with Atlanta, Philly. And should be 4 good competitive series, I think, for the most part. So I'm excited for it. Like you said, a lot of aces going. If you look at, one kind of trend that is apparent to me when you look at kind of back to the regular season and who's still alive, it's a lot of these contact-oriented teams that are still playing, can put the ball in play, which I think is critical for success in the playoffs as well. So it does make for some kind of tougher matchups for some of these ace pitchers. It'll be interesting to see who wins out, these stud pitchers on the mound or these batters that can put the ball in play. So I'm excited for it, excited to break it down, and excited watching baseball today.
Idol, what's up, my man? Got a couple more weeks of baseball here for you. I know the NBA's coming up, so you got a stiffy for that, but this is pretty fun, dude. We're in the playoffs now. Come on, you got to be back to baseball.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I grinded baseball pretty much to the last day of the regular season. But, of course, when it starts tailing off, football comes back. Baseball goes to the back burner a little bit. But playoff baseball is different for sure. Watching the previous show, Grayson Griner, Big T, and all of them, Big T was kind of saying the same thing. But, yeah, NBA, I mean, I am very, very excited. 1 week from now, NBA back. What a grind. A lot of money to be made. It's a great time of the year. No better time than October. You're getting baseball, basketball, football. If you're a hockey fan, you get that as well. So great time of year for sure. Excited to talk some baseball.
All right. Very good. So here's the deal. Let's make sure we hit the like button today. We'll go for 250. I don't even know how many people are going to be watching. I don't care. Let's go for 250. This is baseball. We need some good mojo going on here. I'll also remind you, if you are not a subscriber, I don't know what you're doing. The baseball team has been crushing it through that first round. of the playoffs. That was a lot of fun. I've never been on an NFL or been around guys on an NFL heater like we have here. I'm on a heater. DC, you're probably on a heater. Title, you're probably on a heater because everybody, it seems like, starting the season off. This is by far and away the best NFL start we've had. And it's not even close. And I would challenge any other site to have any of the success that we've had. What do we got? A couple milli makers. K Fallick hit for 70 something K this past weekend. Tambo's hit 6 figures. JSU's hit for 6 figures, and members have hit for 6 figures. A lot of members have been winning here. So check it out, runpuresports.com. Check out the bet side as well. Before we get into this, DC, just real quick, we're not going to have many of the lineups out, especially for the later 2 games. How do we handle this? If you have a life and you got to go out and do your thing, do you pull back a little bit on bankroll today, or can we kind of figure out who's playing because it's game 1 of these division series?
Yeah, if you just look at projected lineups, you can find them on, many different sites. Those are going to be, I don't know, 90%, 95% accurate. Maybe one player, from most of the teams. I could get these lineups, I think, almost exactly correct for the most part. So I don't think you need to pull back and, it just takes a quick check. You usually, these lineups will be out 2 hours before each game starts. If you need to make any swaps, I think you're able to do that. So especially with the staggered start times to the games, which I think is really fun. It makes for a fun DFS sweater. What it really reminds me of, Title, is NBA Christmas, when it's like 5 games in a row and you can kind of make
Thanksgiving football. Yep.
Yeah. Which I really like these types of slates. I don't like it when every player starts at the same time. I like to be able to kind of change my lineups depending on what happens throughout the day. And, if you're lucky enough to be able to watch baseball all day, it really makes for a fun day of sports. So no, yeah, I think the lineups will mostly be what we expect. And, any little changes, you can do the global swap thing on DK at the very worst. So, yeah, I think, we shouldn't see too many surprises. And if you do, just be willing to adjust, just takes a quick check and you'll be back in business.
Good morning, Metal Alloy and Bill Miner. You say nice things about me. You definitely get a shout out. Let's get right into this, though, dudes. Big time pitchers on the slate. We got Verlander, we got Cole, Fried. We'll throw Rios out there. Rangers, Suarez. By the way, if you're a part of the bet side, it's Worktober. Joey Work doing his thing already, making us profit in baseball betting. He's got a good pitching prop today, and then he's got a couple other picks up. So make sure you get over the bet side. But how do we handle pitching today, DC, with Verlander up there? Is there a lock button pitcher today that you're going to have massive exposure to, or do you spread it out?
I'm spreading it out a little bit. So I'm playing 50 lineups in the Big 15 on DraftKings is my plan for the day, using the awesome tools over at SaberSim. Looks like Garrett Cole is going to be the highest owned pitcher on this slate, which one thing, right off the bat, I don't agree with. I agree that he probably might be the highest owned pitcher, but in my opinion, I think Max Fried is the better pitcher. I would take him straight up over Garrett Cole, over Verlander in this game. And he's a little cheaper too. You get a $1,500 discount going from Verlander to Fried. $1,200 going from Cole to Fried. He's just, he's been awesome. If you look at kind of what he's done, what Cole's done, it's been similar. You could throw Verlander in there. The matchup for Cole, though, I just don't like it against these Indians. I know they're not the best offense in the world, but they just make so much contact. And especially playing in Yankee Stadium, where it is, warm enough to take advantage of that short porch in right field. I could see the Indians putting the ball in play and then maybe eventually getting that 3-run home run, right? Which would be enough probably to knock Cole off the SP1 for the day. So I've got Fried, number 1, Verlander 2. I'm actually putting Julio Urias 3 over Garrett Cole. So Cole 4 for me. Looks like the field doesn't agree with me on that, that's kind of what you want, right? You want your opinion, your honest opinion, to be different than what the field thinks, which is true for me today. So I do like the slate from that perspective. And then I do think there is a pretty big tier drop off between those top 4. So again, I have them ranked Fried, Verlander, Julio Urias, and Cole. And then below that, you've got Gilbert, Quantrill, Suarez, and Clevenger. None of those guys are all that appealing to me. They're just not the same caliber of pitchers that the top 4 are. And they've also got pretty brutal matchups for the most part. I'll sprinkle those guys in. I actually think Quantrill is my favorite of the 4, followed by Gilbert, Clevenger and then Ranger Suarez. But I do think there's a pretty big break between those four guys. So most of my ownership will be on the top four aces going today.
All right, Title, let's get to you, man. How do you want to handle pitching today? Again, game one of these division series, we get all the top tier guys. How do you sift through the guys that you're going to want to throw out there?
Yeah, I'm on the same page with DC with a lot of stuff. I think Garrett Cole clearly is going to be the chalkiest pitcher on the slate. Kind of reminds me of like last Thursday with Max Scherzer. And I mean, we get so many good aces on this slate. If one guy's going to be way higher owned than the rest, which I do think we see, man, I mean, Cleveland's just not a team we've like picking on all year. They're pesky at the plate. They don't strike out much. And you have other guys. Like I really love Justin Verlander in this spot. He's my favorite pitcher. I mean, he's been so good as of late. Now he's fully, I mean, he can throw, if he's rolling 105, 110, like these pitchers are going to go deep into games. I think he gets the win here. I like Houston to win this game. I think some of their bats are interesting. So he's my SP1. And then Max Fried's just too cheap at 8.5K against Philly, 4.5K prop, a lot of juice on the over. Man, I'm just playing those two guys and moving on. If you're playing 50, if you're playing 150 lineups, yeah, mixing in a Julio Urias, who should be pretty low owned on this slate, I think that'd be fine. If I had to pick anyone in the very cheap tier, maybe I just go all the way down to like a Ranger Suarez. You mentioned a little something about Joey Work. Holden, I saw that as well. Now that I'm in a legal state, I always check the Run Pure Bet site.
Look at that. He's betting now. I love to see it. Good boy. Yeah.
Now that I'm in a legal state, checking the sharp people like we always talk about, even if you don't bet, seeing what other betting guys are on and stuff translates to DFS. Saw that with Joey Work, Atlanta. They'll get some ownership. I think offense will be pretty spread out on this slate. But if you're playing even 20 lineups or less, Verlander, Fried, lock it in and then you can mix in different offenses. How I see it. So that's my approach. Fade the highest owned pitcher in Cole. Cash games, he's going to be very popular. I checked the cash chart. I tagged him on both because you block there.
I just get this is a gut feeling. Sometimes you got to go your gut. Cole just scares me. There's these games. Obviously, he can strike out 11, but he's also got these blow up spots. You were talking about Scherzer, but then I look at Hoop and I trust Hoop just about as much as anybody in this business. And I know he kind of likes him. DC, just can you make the case for Cole a little bit more so I feel more comfortable, even though I'm not comfortable putting him out there today as far as maybe one of my top two pitchers?
Yeah, I think the case for Cole is the upside is so high. He can go deep in the games to strikeouts when he's on his game. We could potentially see him. Did you see the umpires checking Joe Musgrove's ears?
We got to talk about that, by the way. Let's get through this first and we'll talk about it. It's on my list.
Yeah, I was reminded of it just because, Cole was kind of the original sticky stuff guy back last year, right, when they introduced the new rule, and his performance kind of fell off at first and it came back. And I don't know. We'll see. I don't think that'll be the last time this postseason that we see a manager kind of demand to check a pitcher, even if it's just to like throw him off his rhythm, right? I mean, it can't be great having the umpires gather around you and, touch your ears and your hair. And I could see that throwing off a pitcher. So we will see that going forward, but we could also see maybe some of these pitchers break out some of the good stuff this postseason. But yeah, no, Cole, I get it. I get why people are playing him. But like I said, I really do have Fried. I would take Fried straight up over him, and Fried's cheaper and lower owned. So for me, at least, that's obviously a pretty easy decision to go to Fried. But yeah, people like Cole for a reason. I'm going to be on the Cleveland side of that one. Title. You almost have to be, right? If you're fading Cole,
sure.
I mean, none of these offenses are in that great a spot. And if Cole's going to fail, some Guardians have got to get the job done. They're cheap and they're going to be lower owned too. So it is a nice leverage spot from that situation.
Okay. So let's talk FanDuel just real quick. Who's the one guy, Title, that we're throwing up on FanDuel today?
Again, I think Garrett Cole is going to be the most popular pitcher. He's at 10.9. Verlander's $300 more. I would much rather get the 300 Justin Verlander. If you can't get there, Max Fried, you don't get as big of a difference on FanDuel as you do DraftKings. 10.4K, 500 less than Cole. There's so many cheap bats. And I mean, playoff baseball as well. You can ship with multiple zeros in your lineup if it's low scoring games, as Vegas thinks, if you get the 60 at pitcher. So I think Cole in the mid tier will be the most, between Verlander, Fried will be the most popular, either getting up to Verlander, which I prefer. Otherwise, the 800 savings with Fried. And that I'm not going to play a Quantrill, Gilbert, Urias is 10-1. I mean, it's just Verlander, Fried over there for me.
Okay, very good. DC, any thoughts on FanDuel just real quick?
No, pretty much agree exactly with title. Those would be the two pitchers I would use, Verlander and Fried.
Let's get into this Musgrove thing real quick, and then we'll get into the offenses, because I thought it was crazy. Twitter obviously goes nuts, and then somebody with the Mets looked at Twitter, and then they called down to Buck Showdown.
The owner. The owner is like constantly on Twitter.
Steve Cohen. Imagine that. Like at this point, us tweeting about a guy's shiny ears, and then ultimately, I mean, guys have shiny ears all the time, especially if you're getting like a little rub down before the thing. There was no Vaseline there, guys. It's enough already. He was not cheating. He had shiny ears, and we got to get over this. There's bright lights at stadiums, DC. I don't know if you've ever looked at your own ears. Go back and look at some of the nighttime pictures on a hot night in a stadium. You're going to notice you have glistening ears.
Well, also, Vaseline actually reduces spin rate, so I don't think that's what Musgrove would have been using.
Was he using like Astroglide? What was he using? Apparently,
I don't know. I mean, people saying it's Vaseline. It wouldn't be Vaseline. What he would be using. That's my only point. But his ears did look pretty shiny. I will say, but I mean, who knows? Yeah.
I mean, shiny ears, big deal. A lot of guys have them. You just don't pay attention to them because you're not pitching.
Yeah, well, so one guy on Twitter like tweeted the photo. It like went viral, right? He had like the zoomed in.
Yeah,
and then I would bet good money that the owner saw it and then contacted Buck Showalter and like go check his ears. And if you're the manager of the team and your owner tells you to check the man's ears, you check the man's ears, right? That's what you got to do. It's your job on the line, especially because you're about to be eliminated and you got to try to save your job. So. He's maybe put in a tough spot with the owner there, but made for some good laughs anyway.
People were saying red hot, I saw on Twitter, and I just saw
get the fuck out of here.
Tony A said it, and I mean, just
the guy uses conditioner and toner and cleaner and everything. He's a lotion. He's gorgeous ears. He should be an ear model. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So
the Mets fans are still crying.
Hey, chat. Seriously, I want to know. Do you think he was cheating? I just want to get a sense from the chat here. You guys watch these games too, or you watch Twitter at some point in time. Were they cheating? I don't know. Like button would be great. Again, we're running down this slate, this beautiful 4-game slate. Unfortunately, it's like 75 here today, DC. But I guess I'll just be sitting on my ass most of the day. Maybe I'll take the cat for a walk and listen to the game or something like that. But, besides for that, it's going to be great. I am a national treasure. There is no doubt about it. Thank you very much, Aaron Henry. I appreciate that. And then the other thing to say, the Mets. Listen, I grew up a Mets fan. I turned in my card in 2008. I couldn't take it anymore. If you're a Mets fan still, you deserve it. Like, seriously, just stop. Horrible things will always happen to you. I don't believe in the devil or anything, but I'm pretty sure I made a deal with him back in 1986 when none of you were born. And I said, if you just let them win this game, and then it happened. So again, it's all about me. Let's get into the offenses here in the game by game. That's what we're going to do. So let's start. I mean, we got the Phils, we got the Braves, and I'm pretty excited about this one. Unfortunately, this will probably be the game that I least watch today, but it's also the game that I'm the second most excited about. I can't wait for that Seattle-Houston game, but let's go. You're right there, DC. You put it on mute, so good job.
Yep.
Talk to me here. These two offenses today. It's going to be tough figuring out who's going to score. What's going on with the Phillies? What's going on with the Braves?
Yeah, you do see all 4 of these games, 4 pretty big favorites, right? So if you got 4 teams, the 4 favorites all have team totals around 4 or a little bit over 4, and then the 4 underdogs all have team totals, I believe, below 3. So kind of some discrepancies in the first round of the playoffs. We saw a lot of like really evenly split team totals. A little bit different today. I do agree with most of what the market says. Braves, my first or second favorite offense on this slate. They've seen Ranger Suarez 5 times this year. Have had moderate success against him, but a team that really hits lefties well. Just a super strong lineup, top to bottom against Suarez. And the Phillies, they've got a weaker bullpen as well. So the Braves have that going for them. Suarez, wouldn't be surprised if he only made it, 4 or 5 innings in this game. So very high on the Braves, specifically the left-handed power. And then Phillies are okay. I don't mind picking out some cheap guys at the bottom of the lineup or some of the right-handed power, Hoskins, Castellanos. Real Muto. I think all these guys are decent one-offs, but I do have a lot of Max Fried. So obviously my exposure to Philly will be limited. A couple cheap guys at the bottom, Stone Minimum, Bierling, and Sosa, 2K. If you're spending up a pitcher, which most people are, you might need a little bit of savings. If you're going with a Verlander, Cole lineup, maybe you can mix in those super cheap Phillies to kind of fill out your lineup. But yeah, really high on the Braves. You can play 1 through 9. In my opinion, with the Braves, favorite bats would be Riley. And then I really like Orlando Arcia, who had a very strong strong finish to the season, rather, 2.7K at second base. He's a strong play as well. So yeah, I'm on the Braves side mostly on this one.
What do you want to do with this game here, Title? You going to go with DC here on the Braves side, or you want to go a different direction?
No, I'm actually, this is the game I really don't have too much interest in for bats. I think the Braves will get some ownership. The thing is, I'm playing Fried, I'm playing Verlander. That leaves me with about a little under 4,000 per bat. You look at this Braves lineup outside of Arcia and Grossman, they're all above 4K. And I know JT, DC, you guys have talked about playoff baseball. In regular season, it's always for me 5-3, 5-2-1. It's an interesting talking point. I know the first last Thursday, the first game of the postseason, the wild card, a 5-man did ship. I think the past 2 slates, there's been like 3-3-2s or a mix in that. I don't think you need to 5-man, and definitely not the same. I don't feel as strongly about it as I did in the regular season. But man, with all these low totals, one team getting 7-8 runs could be enough for a 5-man stack. So I do at least want to try and get a 4-man if I'm going to do it. Just really hard to do that with the Braves. So I do expect to get some ownership. Joey Work likes Ranger Suarez a little bit. Like you mentioned, I love Max Fried, so I'm not going to have any Phillies there. If I go Braves, it would be either an Orlando Arcia, Robbie Grossman, maybe throwing a mini stack, get by cheap there, fill out second base. But I like a couple other offense on this slate. I assume most people listening to the show, 10 lineups or less, probably most in the 1 to 5 range. Can't play every stack. So I'm going to say no, but I mean, it's the Braves. Second highest implied total on the slate. I totally get it.
By the way, we got 0 weather concerns today. A little bit of wind blowing in, I suppose. What is it, like 5 to 8 miles an hour in Atlanta? But it's going to be in the 60s and the 70s everywhere, except for the one game in the dome with the Astros. That'll probably be in the 70s there too. So we got some nice, it's cooler weather. So we don't expect the ball to be flying anyways. Hey, DC, I guess if you watched that, what was it? The Guardians game that went 15, 16 innings, you would say the balls are kind of dead. Did you notice anything with the baseballs here in the playoffs yet, or nothing stands out?
No, the batted balls that I thought were going to be home runs generally were, which is kind of the thing that I look for. But no, I haven't seen anyone. If there's a noticeable difference, someone probably would have already caught it, and I think I probably would have seen it on Twitter at some point. So no, I'm not adjusting at that at all. Like even the home run Jose Ramirez hit in Game 1, I didn't even think that was going to get out, and it did. So yeah, I think the balls are flying okay. And I would just kind of proceed like they're the same balls that we saw in the regular season.
Just a couple of things to wrap up the Musgrove conversation. Spin rate jumped with Musgrove from JMVP.
Not much, but yeah.
DFS loves this trio of DC, Titletown, and Holden. He goes, SO.
Yes,
Can we
sir.
get an SO here real quick? Can we get an SO?
SO. I appreciate that.
Now I feel like I'm doing good. IV23, Holden's hilarious, suggesting a pitcher used Astroglide, LOL. Weirder substances have been used. I kid you not, and I promise you. I bet you Astroglide has definitely been used by like Nolan Ryan or something. Mike Scott. Mike Scott with the Astros. Definitely used Astroglide. We got a couple more games to go, but we got 3 games to go. I do want to let you know, Hoop just posted his core for the premium side. So the subscribers, Hoop's core is up. So you can get that in there, and AP's core is up. So 2 of our coordinators are already posted them. Waiting on Draft Cheat and Boynton. I'm sure Big T will have something out there today. Looking forward to hearing from JSU as well. So the baseball team starting to throw all the cores out for today, and I'm excited about that. Let's go on, and we'll move on to our next game, gentlemen. Seattle and Houston. I suppose, DC, if we looked at one spot for an offense, maybe I would say that the Astros are in the better spot. The Dodgers have a higher implied total.
Yep.
But can you start with the Astros, and then we'll swing it back around with the Mariners, who got some good mojo working for them right now?
They do, yeah. Mariners, awesome story of them getting into the playoffs. Certainly rooting for the Mariners. If I didn't have any money on the line and wasn't playing DFS, the Mariners would be the team that I'd be kind of rooting for to beat the Astros here. But unfortunately, ultimately, you're going to be rooting for whatever your dollars are backing, which on this game will be the Astros side of it. We talked about Justin Verlander, good spot for him, big game pitcher. He's going to show up. I still think you can sprinkle in Mariners. There's no team that I'm completely avoiding on this slate. They've got some power. Obviously, Julio at the top of the lineup. Cal Raleigh, I think you can make a case for him as one of the top catchers. But the Astros side, I think, is really interesting. Logan Gilbert, a really good pitcher, had a fantastic year. I'm a little nervous for him here. You said you're kind of nervous for Garrett Cole. Playoff baseball, it's a little bit like that. Obviously, you're crunching the numbers and looking at the projections and all that, but some of it is kind of gut calls, right? When there's only 4 games and so much is on the line. I think there's more that goes into it than regular season games. I don't know. Just the Astros have been so good in the postseason for years now. Yes, some of that was obviously the buzzing, but they got some whatever you want to call it. When this team is at home in the playoffs, they get the job done time and time again. Gilbert, good young pitcher, but this is a tough spot, right? Going on the road to Houston in the playoffs. I don't know. I'm just a little nervous for him, and I wouldn't be surprised. The Astros, I think, are the team most likely to blow up and put up a 7, 8, 9 spot, something like that against Logan Gilbert. So I do really like this offense. Obviously, when you're talking Astros, you mostly want to stick to the top of the lineup, right? They're studs. Alvarez, Tucker, and Altuve, my 3 favorite. They do have some cheaper guys at the bottom. Mancini, Gurriel, super cheap at 2.3K at first base if you need the savings. So I do like this Astros team a lot. I think they win this game rather easily and led by some of those big bats at the top of the lineup.
All right. So if you're sure about something in the playoffs, there's definitely going to go the other way. Just get ready for that, everybody. I'm not talking about DC. Just remember, everybody. Nobody knows shit. He's crazy. We do our best, but it's like, how many times do we see this in the playoffs? Verlander's can go out there and crush, but you just have to do your best and put yourself in the best position. We'll see if we can do that. So title, can I convince you any Mariners bats today?
I mean, you can always want. I mean, Verlander lets up some home runs. If you want to, because I'm playing so much Verlander, I'm probably not. Especially if you're only playing like 5 lineups or something, you can. If I picked one, my boy Jared Kelenic down there, almost min price, got some power, got the platoon. I'd say him. I mean, I'm not going to be spending up on somebody against a pitcher I love. So Jared Kelenic would be the one. But I don't think I really get there myself too much. I definitely like the Astros side more. I think the Astros are going to come in pretty popular on this slate. I mean, you look at these prices, like Kyle Tucker, 4.4K, Jeremy Pena, 3.7, Bregman, 4.2. Like, man, those guys could easily be 5K players. And I mean, they have the name value. I don't love picking on Gilbert, but it's playoff baseball. I don't love picking on a lot of these pitchers. So I like the Astros, but I do like 2 other teams more in the last 2 games. So I have them ranked 3rd. I'm fine with them. I think the ownership is pushing me away a little more in tournaments, though, because I think people are going to be surprised. I mean, like I said, the prices and the names, they're too cheap for what they should do, I think. So 3rd team on my stack list. You're only playing a couple lineups. They're not my core.
They're not in your core. Okay. And then what about the other side, buddy?
Yeah, I'm playing Verlander, so Kelenic if you're playing anyone, but I probably a full fade.
Full fade. Okay. DFS Dom, YouTube app on the TV came out. Really? So it looks pretty good. We actually look really good on the TV right now. It's wonderful to see if anybody actually watches on TVs anymore. I love my TV. You look handsome, title. I mean, you wouldn't believe the vibrance.
Yeah.
And the
I probably look more handsome because I'm more dark than usual.
Because it's darker.
I mean, you can't see me as much.
I want to be nice.
No, you won't hurt my feelings. I promise.
I know I won't. Hit the like button. We'd really appreciate it. We're going for 250 today. Let's go. It's the playoffs. Enough screwing around, guys. We're having fun, but we're also taking this seriously. So 250 is the key. If you want DC's mom's basement play of the day, you're going to have to do it. You want titles SO play of the day, you're going to have to do it. You don't want to be stuck with my dusty ass pick and then have these two guys leave and then not get their play of the day. That's all I'm saying. Like button would be nice. Also subscribe. We just hit 12,000 subscribers. I remember last year, like, oh, please get us to 10, please. And now we're just taking off. RPS, running the industry. Absolutely love it. Okay, let's go. The next game that we have on this list would be the Cleveland Guardians and the New York Yankees. So a lot of people on Cole, DC. Can we pick off some Guardians bats? Do you know why they're called the Guardians, by the way? Do you understand that?
There's some like history there.
The statues. There's two Guardians guarding over that shithole. Sure. By the way, it's mid-season too. It's mid-season. Don't forget about that. When they go to Cleveland, you'll have these little bugs climbing in everybody's ear. It's gonna be kind of gross. But do we have a couple Guardians we could pick off just to get a little bit of leverage on the Cole crowd?
Yeah, I've actually never been to Cleveland, which it's not super high on my list.
Anything.
You know, I don't wake up. Yeah,
that Detroit. Sorry, Hoop and everybody else. Detroit, Cleveland. You could have the Rust Belt.
Never been there either.
And Milwaukee title. You can take Milwaukee and flush it down the toilet too.
Been Milwaukee. Milwaukee's okay.
Really?
It's getting worse. It was better, but
yeah.
I mean,
it was better back in the 1800s. Okay, so DC, you were saying.
Yeah, I actually like some of these Guardians bats. Part of it's just if you're not on Cole, any pitchers that you're not on, like you almost have to be a little bit on the other side, especially when we think Cole will be the most popular pitcher on the slate. So I've been looking at some of these Guardians bats. They've got some left-handed power in their lineup, which is great for Yankee Stadium. And Cole, man, when Cole is off, he gives up home runs. He gave up a lot of home runs this year. And yeah, I think these Guardians can get the job done. I love Jose Ramirez here. If you can afford to pay up for him, even just as a one-off, he's looked awesome. But yeah, other guys, Andres Jimenez, 4,400, had a fantastic year. He could take Cole deep out to right field. They've got the rookie Will Brennan, who I expect to be in the starting lineup. High contact guy. He's got some speed. You can run on Cole a little bit. He's interesting at 3,100. But really 1 through 7 of the projected lineup, that's Quan, Rosario, Ramirez, Josh Naylor at 3,600, I think is a fun play. Oscar Gonzalez, their hero from the 15-16 inning game, and Andres Jimenez and Will Brennan. Those 1 through 7, I kind of like quite a bit against Cole. I'll have some full-on stacks here against Garrett Cole. I think they can hit a couple home runs, but you can also just play 1 or 2 guys, right? Because Cole's unlikely to start walking dudes and completely blow up. It's really the home runs that you're trying to chase against him for the most part. So I think picking off a couple of these power guys, I'll leave, Miles Straw and Hedges for other people. But yeah, the dudes that can hit home runs, especially out to right field, which frankly is most of that lineup, I think can do damage here. So I like the Guardians here. I know Cole, potentially any of these games, right? Any of these pitchers could shut it down. He could do the job, but I'll be on the other side of this one. I think the Guardians can get to Garrett Cole here. So yeah, I'll have a bunch of Guardians in my lineups.
All right. What about the other side of things? How much Aaron Judge you going to have today?
Not as much as I would like to have. I wish the Guardians had a better pitcher going than Cal Quantrill, because I would be, if Shane Bieber or even Tristan McKenzie was pitching in this game, I would be using them quite a bit in DFS. It's harder to use Cal Quantrill. It just doesn't have a huge amount of strikeout upside to compete with Verlander and Fried and Cole himself. But it's a small enough slate, I think, title where, if Quantrill gets you 15 at his price, it could be enough, right? A couple of these pitchers could falter and all of a sudden he's near the top of the heap. So I will mix in Cal Quantrill. I'm just not impressed by this Yankees lineup. It is getting better. It is better than it was. But yeah, I think Quantrill could pitch well here. I wouldn't be shocked to see him go 6 innings, 4 strikeouts, maybe 1 or 2 earned runs. Could be enough. So I won't be surprised if the Guardians frankly win this game in Yankee Stadium. I'll be rooting for it myself with my lineups and who I'm backing here. So yeah, give me the Guardian side. I will of course mix in some Yankees, but I'm lowest on them of the 4 favorites. So they are the 4th offense for me. I won't have too much exposure, and I'll be hoping Quantrill can slow him down a little bit.
All right, so not as much Judge as you'd like, but some Judge.
Some judge. Yeah. You got to have some judge. Yeah.
You got to have a little judge. Okay. Title, let's go to you. Maybe you could start on the Yankee side today. Is Judge a must?
There's no such thing as a must in baseball. 6.3K too. I mean, if you can fit them, I definitely like Judge. I like the Yankees. So I like the Yankees more than the Braves personally. So I like them more than DC. I wish they had more lefties in the lineup. Quantrill definitely struggles with lefties a lot more than righties. So Rizzo's the bat that stands out right away. 4.6K at first base. I really like him. And I like going more of the wraparound. I don't see myself getting to a 5-man Yankee stack. I mean, like, do I want to play Trevina, Connor Falefa? No, I do not. But the 6, Oswaldo Cabrera, can fill him out at second base in the outfield, 3.2K. Harrison Bader in the 7-hole, 2.8K. Then you get the Judge, the Rizzo. I think that's how I would approach the Yankee stack. Get a little 3-man, a 4-man. I'm good with them. I think they do put up runs. I mean, we love targeting Yankee Stadium too. Pop fly to right field or left field. Judge gets a hang of one. Stanton, you don't have to get it all to get it out. So Quantrill, every pitcher on this slate's solid, but he's definitely one of the worst ones on this slate. So I do like the Yankees more than DC. Not a 5-man, probably a 3-man for me. As far as the Guardians, everything that DC said, if you're not playing the most popular pitcher on the slate, you have to expect some people from Cleveland to get to him for him not to be on the optimal. Josh Naylor stands out in the 4-hole, 3.6K. Oscar Gonzalez, 3.7. Probably would skip Jimenez. He's kind of expensive at 4.4, but at the end of the day, fills out second base. You get him low owned. The Will Brennan's right there. Complete punt. Austin Hedges. I think a lot of people are going to go pay up at catcher, so it gets you on a different roster construction. I do like this game a little bit for bats. If I had a game stack one game on both sides, this would be my favorite game to do so. But the last game of the slate has my favorite offense in it. Probably other people as well, but I like this game.
All right, couple things for our premium members. DC's score is just about ready to get up. Let me just tell you what you're getting. If you missed all baseball season, you're just hopping in now, that's fine. We got plenty of time. First of all, once the World Series comes around and we start getting Showdown, like Big T, we call him Tony, a lot of us call him Tony, or the Tone Dog. The Tone Dog just has like the best strategy for baseball Showdown too, not just NFL. So you're going to want to be here when we get to the World Series. Second thing is DC. If you like DC, you get his whole player pool, his favorite stacks, his favorite one-offs. You get his core title. I know you're going to drop a core in there today. Like I told you, Hoop.
It's in the MLB chat right now.
It's in there right now. Beautiful. So subscribers, you want titles core, you get that. And you'll get a core from Big T, JSU today. Hoop and AP already have their cores up. And DC, I'm going to go to title first on the last game, just so you can get the rest of your core in there. And we can't really talk about it too much, but you could definitely ask any of our guys questions in the Discord. Our guys are around all the time. Our analysts are in there 24 hours a day. One of these guys is going to be up at 2 a.m, just bored, trying to find the meaning of life. And you can ask them a DFS question. I'm sure they'll be happy to answer that for you. Also, I'll say it again. You go tell me an NFL team that started out hotter than RPS. You go tell me a team you got more confidence in than the NFL team at RPS going forward. It has been an absolute smash spot, a bonanza, a smorgasbord to start the season. It's been absolutely wonderful. Like button would be great. We are going for 250. That would be very nice if you gave us a little bit of love there. Even the subscribers, you could do it. Let's go. Game number 4, the nightcap. We got San Diego and the Dodgers. Dodgers highest implied team total at 4.5. Padres, at 3 with Arias on the mound. What about, let's talk about the route nobody's going to go. What about a little Padres? What about a little lower in the order Padres guys, maybe so we could fit some of the big bats in? Title, any interest in the Padres whatsoever?
I think it's in playoff baseball. I think it's always smart to have one of those teams in your stacks, but it's Cleveland for me. It's much easier. I mean, you look at Urias's projection ownership, he's going to come at compared to Cole's, the same implied T totals. I mean, Cleveland's more pesky. Like, it just totally makes sense for me to go against the chalkiest pitcher and get leverage that way. So I'm not going to be full punt like Padres and Cleveland. I mean, if you want a solo ship and you think that's the route today, but there's just no Padres for me today. Much rather pick on the chalkiest pitcher. So DC's got something. I'll let him talk about that. As far as the Dodgers, I mean, I was picking on Mike Clevenger. I think a lot of us were in the regular season at some points. Now we get him on a postseason slate. We're like, yes, Cal Quantrill, I'm making a case for some of these Yankees, or Ranger Suarez making a case for some Braves as DC, but it's not like those guys were guys we're trying to go out of our way and attack during the regular season. Clevenger was one of those guys, and now you get this Dodgers team, arguably the best lineup in baseball. And what makes it even better is we're not going to have the lineup out for a while. Like DC said earlier, the projected lineup I'm going to trust game one of the postseason. I mean, the bottom of the order, you look at Muncy 4-6, Justin Turner 4-2, Gavin Lux 3-4, Chris Taylor 3-1, Cody Bellinger 3-3. You have enough cheap pieces where you can 5-man stack this team and it works out. So give me all the Dodgers. Give me 1 through 9. The thing is, you can't play Muncy or Turner because they're both third base eligible on DraftKings. I lean Muncy. If you're playing 50 lineups, like you can mix them both in. That's the only thing that you cannot, like the only way you cannot stack Turner and Muncy. Everything else you can find a way to stack. I mean, all aboard the Dodgers for me. The ownership, of course, they're going to be owned, but for having the highest implied total on the slate, I think ownership for bats is spread out more than people think. So I'm not worried about it. Give me the bottom of the order, guys. Gavin Lux has always been my boy. Disappointed plenty this year, but I'm going right back to him. Should be pretty low owned, cheap price tag. Taylor cheap, Bellinger cheap, Trey, Mookie, Freddie. I mean, Clevenger I like picking on. I like the Dodgers lineup. Yeah, sign me up.
All right, very good. DC just got his core up. So those of you that are subscribers, you can go over there and check it out. VIP in the chat. Plan for tomorrow is what Dave Roberts laid out. Arias will have a abbreviated start. Heaney following out of the bullpen. That's how Heaney's going to be used in the postseason. Thanks, VIP, for always posting some of this stuff in the chat. So DC, with that being said, Dodgers, Padres, how are you attacking this one?
Well, hold on. Before I see that was on October 3rd, that tweet was.
Yeah.
I don't think,
They haven't played since.
Yeah. I don't see why you
plan for tomorrow. I don't know though. I just wanted to plan for tomorrow and it was tweeted on the 3rd. So I just wanted to catch. I'm not really going to be playing Arias. I don't like Padres, but
Arias did start on the 4th. So that tweet was referencing
the last one.
His last start, yeah.
So he gets 5 innings tonight, and then Heaney comes back in. You think?
No. Urias is a full go. I think that's but yeah, I'm not really on the Padres. Again, Urias just never gets blown up, right? It almost never happens. He's just a strike thrower. Of course, so it would be one-offs, right? If you want to get a cheap shortstop, I might need it. Kim at the top, 3.2K, Machado, Drury, all those guys are okay, but Padres facing a very good pitcher and then a very good rested bullpen behind Urias. I'll be surprised if the Padres are the team that blows up tonight. I think they're, in my opinion, the least likely team to have a big day. So I won't have too many Padres outside of the salary savings guys. But yeah, you got to love the Dodgers. I mean, Clevenger, like Title said, just wasn't very good this year and kind of struggled to the finish as well. Had negative DraftKings points in 2 of his last 4 starts. And the Dodgers have seen him a lot this year, 3 times, and recently 2 times. He's given up 14 earned runs in 13 innings against the Dodgers, including 5 home runs. So they've absolutely blasted Clevenger. The Dodgers are also one of the smartest analytic teams. Like, they're going to be ready for Clevenger. They've already been ready. They've already hit him. They know what he's got, and they've had a couple days now to prepare just for this one game. That's advantage Dodgers to me, no question about it. So this is a patient team. Clevenger can be wild. I expect them to kind of to wear Clevenger out, honestly. I don't see him getting through this lineup. I would be surprised if we got through 2 times, to be honest. So, yeah, you got to love the Dodgers. It's just like the Braves, they're very expensive, or at least the guys, at the top of the lineup that you really want. Betts, Turner, Freeman, Will Smith, Muncy, all those guys. Muncy's the cheapest at 4.6K. The others are 5K or over. So it's just a matter of trying to fit them in, with Fried and Verlander. I'll have Dodgers kind of on my, Cal Quantrill teams where I've got some salary savings to work with. But yeah, you got to love them. I think like the Astros, they're, have a pretty good chance of actually putting up a big offensive day. So I certainly think you can full stack here. If you need to go cheaper pitching to do it, I don't hate that. Just because not very many people will be willing to do that. So yeah, give me the Dodgers. But yeah, mostly fading the Padres for sure.
All right, so we got through this 4-game slate today. That'll be great. You get a chance, give us a like button. We'd love it. Give us I call it the fun button now. Hit the fun button. It's so much fun. Get us to 250. I'm still gonna give the plays, and the only reason why is because I'm not gonna sit here and hit up DC after the show. I got other stuff to do. To ask for your play of the day, so might as well just get it here right now and back off the 250 thing. But if you can get us there, that's great. We got a whole bunch of people watching too, so we'll be well over 1,000, 1,500 maybe when it's all said and done. Thanks for being a great crowd today. Want to remind everybody again, Title has dropped his score. Where is it in the baseball chat?
Yep.
I can't find the guy.
Scroll up a bit. It'll be right there. I take Junior. He's the one that asked for it in YouTube chat. So scroll up, listed 7 players' names.
And just baseball, right?
Yeah, just the baseball chat.
Yeah. There we go. I found it. Ooh,
go.
Okay. Okay, Title. I see you, man. I see you. Let's get to some plays of the day then. I want the good mojo. I'm feeling good. I'm in a good mood. We got baseball all day, beautiful weather. Oh boy, the girlfriend's still out of town. Things are going well in my life, DC. Good NFL weekend. Things are going well. I know you hate to hear that, but they are. Mom's basement, like Title giggle. Mom's basement play of the day. What do we got?
I'm shook to find out that you're having a good day over there.
It just ruined DC's day now.
Things were going well for me, but now not so much.
I know.
We'll go to the Guardians. I've talked about not being on Cole today. I think they hit Cole. I'm going to go to the rookie. Should be hitting 7th today. Will Brennan has been really good since being called up by the Guardians. Power, speed. He's cheap, left-handed, and I think he puts one in the bleachers in right field for the Guardians. So yeah, Will Brennan, the Mom's Basement play of the day.
Title, I would like to know what the SO play of the day is.
Going to my favorite stack in the Dodgers. Who's the lowest owned guy in that stack? It's my boy Gavin Lux. Going right back to him. If he's not in the lineup for some reason, you have a very easy pivot because Gavin Lux 3.4K. Chris Taylor, I'd assume, would be in the lineup then. He's second base outfield eligible at 3-1. You could slide him in second. Bellinger's at 3-3. It's the last game of the slate, but Gavin Lux will be single digit owned on my favorite team. Sign me up. Gavin Lux, the SO play of the day.
This is not from me. This is from a buddy of mine that covers the Padres. And I said, who should I recommend? He said, Jerks and Profar. So the edibles play of the day. He goes, if there's one guy on this team that's going to have a good night, I said, Jerks. He said, Jerks and Profar. And I said, if that's the case, then if that works out, I will send you some winnings, whatever you win in a dime entry in the dime jukebox.
You have to send him some edibles. Edible play of the day.
That's illegal, Title.
I mean, walk it over.
You want to go to prison or something? What is wrong with you? By the way, how awesome is it living in a state where everything is legal, like legitimately everything?
Yeah, it's amazing.
You want to cheer me up? Get Holden arrested and in prison. That would be.
Right, I'm gonna. Well, I could send you a ton of edibles, DC, but we live in the same state, so we're not gonna get in trouble. Too bad, buddy.
I thought your buddy was in the same state as well. That's why I said it.
No, he's in California. He covers the Padres. Well, not right. Yeah, he's still in California, so he covers the Padres. Okay. Anyways, great show. Appreciate it. Like button. We'll be back, right, with more baseball this week. This is not going to be our only time that we end up doing that. No Sterling Thies or Tice. I cannot send you edibles. That is illegal. You can ask Title, though. He seems like he lives on the edge a lot these days. We can't even talk. Do you want to tell people that you moved again, like where you're living now, in case they want to just hang out with Title and get some beers?
Arizona, Scottsdale.
Oh, God, I don't want to live there, but I'll say this. If you're
something about the woman,
Scottsdale, it's all about the women. It really is. Like, it is a top 5 destination for beautiful women. They all have money. Their daddies have money. They all got fake stuff, and they're all just beautiful, and they work out all the time. Anyways, DC, Title, wonderful to see you boys. Check out the core pages. If you have not signed up yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Try and get in, even if it's a monthly plan. Just dip your toe in. NFL's been great. MLB's been great. NBA, probably our best sport right here. I know Matty Ice, CJ Hockey do the hockey side of things. The puck's dropping in the NHL here. So great time to get in. Run Pure Sports. For Title, for DC, I'm Holden. Simon, first of all, Simon, you need to hit the like button. Don't forget. And then our other people need to do it too. And get us out of here, dude.